Hi, and in this video we're going to be looking at applying updates to blocks of questions, blocks of responses, and putting entries into groups to make things more easy to manage. So we're going to start first of all by setting a filter for a block of questions. So in this particular questionnaire, question 1 asks people, do they own a bicycle? 1 is yes, 2 is no. Very simple question. And let's say that what we want to do here is apply a filter to questions 2 to 7 of people who answered yes at question 1. Well, first of all, we have to specify that filter. So let's add that filter entry. I'm going to call it FQ1. I'm going to use the shorthand method for defining it, Q1/1. Put in some text that's a bit more meaningful. Right, so that's added my filter. Now I want to apply that filter to this block of 6 questions here, 2 to 7. So I can edit, apply filters block update, apply a filter, choose from the list. There's only one in the list here, so that makes it rather easy and obvious, and that will apply the filter to all those questions. I could have picked the reverse of that filter by clicking not filter, but I'm just choosing to apply it to all from all people who did say yes at question 1. So let's close it and we look at the worksheet now, and you can see that every question between 2 and 7 has that filter applied. I could reverse that if I wanted to by going to the same place, clicking on the filter and removing the filter from all of those entries if I wish to, or for some of the entries by using the control key to choose which entries I wanted to remove it from. Alright, so that's the first task, which was applying a filter to a block of questions. The next thing I want to do is to update the responses to more than one question. Now if we look at the responses for question 6, you can see we've got text here, very interesting down to very boring. Question 7 has exactly the same texts, so if we update that you can see they're the same texts. And what I want to do is I want to apply scores to these so I get some mean scores when I come to do analysis later on. So we now go into edit again and we go for the block update responses, and you can see there's various tabs I can work on here. I could change the rejects for each one and the refuse. I'm actually picking the score values this time, and what I want to do here, for very interesting, I want to apply a score of 5. And I could just type them in for each one, but I might as well just click on the descending button and that will apply 4, 3, 2, 1 for me. Now be careful here, if you click the close button it won't save your work. You actually need to apply that and then close. And now if we look at the individual responses for those 2 questions, you'll see that question 6 has 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 applied, and hopefully question 7 has the same thing as well. So that's applying changes to 1 or more questions, in this case only 2 questions, but it could have been just as easily 100 questions in that list. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is ways of putting questions into groups so they're a bit easier to manage. So we could edit and choose group entries, and I could highlight here, for example, questions 2, 3 and 4. And I could put them into a group called My Group 1, or might be Section 1 of your questionnaire, might be a more typical name you'll call it. Add those to the group, and if I wanted to, just to make them stand out, I could allocate a colour to those, so I could pick red here, or a pinky colour, and that you'll see in the worksheet now means that those questions are clearly highlighted as being part the pink group, or the my group 1 that I was just setting up there. I can remove them from that group if I want to, or I could hide that group if I want to. If I've got a big questionnaire and I perhaps didn't want to look at all parts of the questionnaire, I could hide parts of it. But it's a good way of highlighting sections of your questionnaire or parts of the questionnaire, and hiding parts of the questionnaire so that you can work with it a little bit more easily. So that completes this short video where we've looked at using the block tools within QPSMR Companion for managing questions, responses, and for grouping different questions or entries together.